What's the Ferryman card? Exorcist. Oh, that sounds nice. Okay, so we got Exorcist from Ferryman for trashing. We've got plenty of draw. Capital City, if you have a way to make money, like play two shops plus a capital city, and then just resolve the second effect would net you cards. If you do both of these, it's just sifting, but a village plus sifting is a great card anyway. We got Stables, Torturer, Daimyo, King's Court, Imps, Will-O-Wisps, lots of ways to draw cards. Villages are Capital City, King's Court, Daimyo, Ghost, plus buy. There's no way to buy multiple things per turn, so money won't matter much, but you can gain stuff off of Horn of Plenty. I guess eventually the searches could pop, and then you could get plus buy from the loots. Okay, so I think I want to open with credit for Ferryman. Looks pretty good. Oh, Crystal Ball is also trashing, but it just seems like a lot worse at trashing. So, could be credit for Ferryman. I'd take 2 debt plus 5 debt, and then I would have paid all the debt off by turn 2. So it'd be like credit for Ferryman plus buy a Daimyo, and then if the Daimyo lines up with the Ferryman, you're pretty happy. Could be gamble once and then do credit for Ferryman, and then you've triggered a shuffle, and you're going to see the EXO a little bit sooner. How do the exact numbers work out on that? So I'd have 4 cards on top, and then I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus the card I gambled, 6, 7, 8 cards in the discard. I'll draw 1. I think that works out pretty well. If you daimyo or KC a search, when searched gets trashed, F does the throne discard. Yes. Pretty sure what he's asking is if you like play King's Court on a search, triple play the search, the King's Court's going to get stuck out of play with the search, but then at some point the search gets trashed. Do you get the King's Court back? And the answer is you wouldn't discard the King's Court immediately, like if that happened in the action phase, but you would discard the King's Court and cleanup of the turn where the search gets trashed, because there's no longer a lingering duration effect to track. Anyways, I think I'm liking the gamble plus ferryman line. And this just creates a nice shuffle where I'll play the ferryman, I'll draw exactly to the end of the deck. I'm guaranteed to find an EXO plus an estate. Seems like good things will happen. Lemonspawn goes with a shop. I guess on the 3/4, it's a little bit riskier because there's a 1 in 5 chance you hit an estate if you gamble, and then you don't have 1 money and you couldn't buy ferryman. Just credit cost 2. On the 3/4, I think I would probably prefer the ferryman plus daimyo line. Lemon prefers shop plus ferryman, which also seems fine. I got 2 money here. A search looks decent. It's also just a unique card in play to make Horn of Plenty look attractive earlier. Could just buy a daimyo. I'll have 2 targets in the deck at that point. A Will-O-Wisp plus a ferryman. Could be credit for something else. I think I just want a search. And then I think I want to get 1 Horn of Plenty in the deck. And then I just want to start buying daimyos with all my buys. And then Horn of Plenty can gain the other stuff that I need. That was a sad draw. And I can't rectify it with Gamble. Because Gamble can't play night cards. I said daimyo, and I meant daimyo. Did I draw both my estates? I did. This is going to be a sad turn. Maybe I have to take a ghost here, actually. Hmm. Those bottom 2 cards are both coppers, right? No, they can't both be coppers, because I played 3 coppers last turn. What am I forgetting about? Oh, it's the search. I don't really want to exercise the search either. So I could play the ferryman, play a search, trash a copper, and then I would have 2. No, I'd have one money left after paying debt. I also have to discard a copper. That doesn't sound great, but I could buy another daimyo and I'd get the search into play. Or I could just turn the ferryman into a ghost. Ghost is a great card, but also ferryman's just not a bad card in this deck. I think I will just do that. It's not a very satisfactory turn, but it probably is correct. Maybe I exercise nothing? Maybe I buy nothing and just trash the copper? The problem I'm going to run into is I need to get a Horn of Plenty into my deck, and if I take 5 debt with no payload cards in the deck, the odds I hit 7 next turn aren't that high. I mean, I guess it's possible for me to draw all my coppers. I'm going to take the Daimyo anyway. Alright, can I draw a Will-O-Wisp or a Ferryman here? If I can, I probably have a decent turn. Will-O-Wisp in particular would solve all my problems. Torturer does not seem that scary. This hand does scare me. That was a bad draw. And I think I play Ferryman first because I'd rather copy the Will-O-Wisp if possible, but I can't find either Daimyo. That's unfortunate. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay. All's right with the world. Oh, this didn't even... Yeah, the Daimyo play was definitely wrong. I forgot that if I trash a copper, I don't even hit 7 if I draw my deck, because I only would have 6 coppers. So that was 1,000% a mistake. And now I gotta eat some extra debt as penance. I don't think I've been playing very well this match. Game 1 was just me throwing the game. I suppose taking a curse is fine here. I'm out of estates to trash. I don't know why Lemon hasn't played all of his coppers. I know you've got more. Alrighty. Pretty pleased, no dud. God dang it. That was not a good draw. It's quite a bad draw, in fact. I accomplished very little with that turn. Fortunately, oh, nope. I was about to say, fortunately, it looks like Lemon did as well, but he at least found the horn. Fortunately, at least, Lemon only found 4 unique cards, and so he didn't get to gain another horn with his horn. Okay, bottom card, I believe, is a copper. Would I like a ghost? I think the answer is yes. Can gain a second ferryman here, plus the second horn. Give me a ghost. Now even a daimyo torture isn't much of a threat. Might have to watch out for, and maybe this is what Lemonspawn was thinking of when he asked that question in the chat. Add a search, then you daimyo or King's Court the search a bunch of times, and then you empty, say, the Horn of Plenty pile that turn, and then pause that thought. Do I want to gain a second curse? If I discard all this, I'm probably drawing it all fine anyway. Hey, I think I'm going to do this. So that's one of... Oh, I got to gain a third curse. I didn't notice how many times you did it. So clearly the better order would have been gain 2 curses, then discard the curses, but it's not going to make much of a difference, I don't think. Anyways, as I was saying, you play search a bunch of times, then empty horns the same turn, and then you get a bunch of loots, and those would go straight to your discard, and then you could play them the same turn with gamble, and maybe that opens up a pile out or something. I think I'm behind. Down 4-2 on daimyos. Alrighty. Copper and play. Gain some more horns. guess a torture. I probably need more draw now. The ghost is going to hit my other ferryman, which is probably not the ideal target, but is fine. I'd love it if I got to play the ferryman and the ghost could play the torturer twice. I will live. Go ahead and take a search now. Trash, trash, ghost. I'll probably need like a bad draw from Lemonspawn to get back in this. Most likely, I think he's a tad ahead. I did have a poor shuffler too, but probably more of it was I definitely made some bad plays there in the early to middle game. Yeah, let's just take some curses. Two is fine. Yeah, taking a bunch of horns makes sense. The loots are a nice consolation prize, and are, I guess, enough reason not to just like purely bum rush the horns, because there's still some game left to be had if you lose the split. But I'm now behind at least 6-4, even if I get that last one. And I'm not sure I have much to show for that. All right, let's discard stuff. And what do I most want these daimyos to play this turn? Probably I would ideally prefer both daimyos play the search because I'm gonna gain the horn and then some loots. I think that matters more to me than the torturer attack. 1, 2, search. And annoyingly, I've messed that up. There's probably a better way to do this. Leaving a curse on top is a big problem. Leaving a copper on top would not have been a problem because you can't get a curse into play with gamble. And that's going to cause me some minor headaches here once I start clicking gamble. Crystal Ball could do some interesting things here. But not that interesting. It would just most likely play me a loot. If I get lucky, it would trash a curse. Does Ferryman make any sense? If I could reliably gamble the Ferryman and draw the Exorcist plus Curse off the top, that would work out pretty well. But more likely, it just draws me like some loots dead. I've got to play the horns before I start gambling, which I guess just I'll put some crystal balls in there. That should be fine. I'll leave one copper for the puzzle box to set aside. Start clicking gamble. Now I'll get me a King's Court orb. Don't want to play the King's Court. Puzzle box set aside. There's that curse. Play the jewels. Play the sextant. I might leave both of those on top. Hmm. For sure, I'm leaving the King's Court on top. I think I'm going to discard the curse. I was imagining a scenario where I would like to have some junk cards on top to discard a torturer, but if he multiply plays the torturer, I'm going to gain curses anyway. And so I think now I want a province because piles are scary. This might lose to 7 provinces. He's got 6 horns. Are you kidding me? Well, this is going to lose regardless because I managed to draw a dead hand. I top decked the King's Court. And one of these coppers was also set into my hand via the puzzle box. This is a particularly bad draw. Well, now I'm kind of rooting for Lemonspawn to hit 7 provinces so that I don't have to experience this turn. He's got 6 horns. I don't know if he has 8 uniques, but I would not be surprised if he does. And then, does he have the ability to make 8 money? Did he dud too? Now I'm real annoyed. uh, so for sure, if I drew my deck this turn, I would win. And I think I was fairly likely to draw my deck with a king's court on top. Not guaranteed or anything, as is evident. I'm not sure whether it makes more sense to play the king's court or not. The reason not to play it would be if I managed to gamble into a puzzle box, I could set it aside for the following turn. The reason it might make sense to play it is it's another unique card. So if I could click gamble, hit a loot, then click gamble again, hit a horn of plenty. Now my horns are gaining fives. I think I care about the puzzle box thing more. Okay, yeah, that's not an amazing top deck. I think I probably just pitch all of this stuff and leave a Will-O-Wisp on top. I would love to see Ghost. Like gamble Will-O-Wisp, draw the Ghost and play it. I could discard all of this and just start gambling through the rest of my deck. Hitting Puzzle Box would be a big upside. Hitting Torturer wouldn't be so bad because it could draw into the Ghost. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna pitch everything. We'll see what I can hit. There we go. And I'm at 7 money now. I think I want to buy a duchy. I'm probably not an estate. Gaining an estate might make an estate pilot too easy because I might have to take some curses and the curses could empty. So that also means I probably don't want to buy another search. So I think I'll just gamble one more time and then buy a duchy. Potential upsides are like a draw card drawing into a ghost or torture getting an attack. They're not very high, but there's like things that I could potentially accomplish here. Actually getting a horn off the top is probably a positive thing because that would have increased my risk of dudding. Can't gain anything super awesome here. I'll just take a silver or a shop. Take the shop. Buy a duchy. Can I please get another turn? Lemon did see his only torturer, didn't he? So there's a chance. Now that's probably gonna be enough. And I think if he draws his deck, he'll probably win here. Alrighty, definitely going to discard here. And I think it makes sense to discard one more time so as to make the curse pile out as hard as possible, but I think he'll probably have the win on provinces. Yeah, he's drawn his deck. At a minute, yeah, that's just 7 provinces. Or estates, I guess. No, back to provinces. Yeah, that was a nasty dud at the end. I had at least one or two bad draws as well. But I also played poorly in the beginning there, so I do have myself to blame.